Welcome back to another New York Giants video. I recorded my last video like an hour ago, and I did not think I'd be recording this one this soon. The Giants have named Brian Daboll as their new head coach. I think this was something that was predictable. He was the favorite coming into the search. Ties to Joe Shane and everything. It's amazing. The Giants got their guy. I got the guy I wanted. Brian Flores was the guy a lot of people wanted, but just think about it this way. Brian Daboll really was the best candidate out there for this job, for the head coaching job this year. Offensive minded guy, something we need. So we got the best candidate out there, and we got the best offensive minded guy out there. I know I'm talking a little too fast right now, but I'm really excited. We got Brian Daboll. There's a lot of similarities between Josh Allen and Daniel Jones. Obviously, not the same player. Josh Allen is phenomenal. Just talent is just through the roof. But Daniel Jones has the running ability. He doesn't have an arm like Josh Allen, but he is accurate, and he does have a pretty good deep ball. So obviously can't throw it 60, 70 yards, but when he does go deep, it's accurate. It's in the place you want it, and it's catchable. That's what you want. Like Brian Daboll is a New York Giants head coach. If we could talk about the OC and the DC, there's rumors that he wants to bring in Ken Dorsey, who is the current Bills passing game coordinator. If we're able to get him as our OC, that'd just be a dream come true. I think Buffalo's trying to retain him, and promote him to that OC job. But currently, the Giants and Ken Dorsey are in negotiations. They're really deep into it. I think right now, just coming down to how much we're willing to pay him. Because at the end of the day, the role is going to be similar in Buffalo and in New York. So I think it comes down to money and relationships. If he has a great relationship with Brian Daboll, which I assume he does, and Joe Shane, he might be willing to come down here if he buys into the culture and believes that the Giants could, become a winning team in a couple of years. Because he could stay in Buffalo, he could become the OC, and then Buffalo's still going to be good with Josh Allen, their offense. So he's looking for that head coaching job soon, probably. Not next year or anything, but if they continue to do good and after he takes over, it's possible. So that's why he might stay there. But if he believes in Daniel Jones, believes he could develop another quarterback, he might want to come down here. And for the defensive side, you look at it, you have Don Wink Martindale, who was formerly of the Baltimore Ravens. He's a great coach as well. Coached many great players. The Ravens defense is always good, so it's exciting to get someone like that. But I think Daboll and Shane have come out and expressed interest in keeping some of the Giants staff right now, because even though Joe Judge got fired, that staff is still under contract. Freddie Kitchens still, the defensive side, everyone is still under contract besides for Judge. So if they want to keep him, it's really easy to do. But obviously, Patrick Graham's probably going to be interviewing with the Steelers next week and with the Vikings for the head coaching job. So if things go well for him, he might be out of New York. But if he does want to stay, because he does call this home, this is where he wants to be. It's possible we keep him. But with Brian Daboll, past videos you've seen that this was my favorite candidate. The way that he's handled Josh Allen, the development and the growth, it was just insane. It's crazy. It's not imaginable the way Josh Allen came out of college. He had the tools. He was raw, but you needed the perfect situation for Josh Allen to take that next step and reach his potential, and that he's done in large part due to Brian Daboll. You can't just develop a quarterback like that. It's not possible. But if you have the right coach, it happens, and we've seen it. So if Brian Daboll comes in here, believes Daniel Jones can be a great player for us, can be a great quarterback, might keep him. See what this year, and if Joe Shane's really, he really wants to fix this offensive line. If let's say he does, that offensive line is serviceable this season, it's average-ish. If it's average this season, that's a huge leap. Daniel Jones would have so much more time in the pocket. And if let's say if that goes right, we fix and then we have Daboll develop Daniel Jones. We could see a completely different Daniel Jones and a completely different New York Giants offense. The defense should handle itself if we keep Graham or we bring in Martindale. Obviously, with free agency and everything, you're going to want to create some cap space to bring in the guys Joe Shane wants to. So we might see a couple guys leaving through the door, but bringing the right coach, someone like Patrick Graham who gets the most out of his players, no matter how talented or not. You could have a good team. It's at the end of the day, you want to see progress. I'm not expecting anything right now because at the end of the day, we've had some high expectations. Even in recent years, you can go back to last year with Joe Judge. We bring in all these guys and everything, high expectation, and just falls right on our flat on our face. 4 wins, 12 losses, 13 losses actually. But you don't want to have that happen again. If you have low expectations, you're not going to be as disappointed. But it's never a bad thing to be optimistic, especially in the off season when things are really going our way. We get the coach we want, we get the GM we want. Let's say we get the OC we want, we get the DC we want. And the draft goes well. Free agency, we're able to bring in a couple of players who could have impact with us. Then you could be optimistic, but hope for the best, but expect the worst in a way with the Giants recently. But don't want to be too negative, because it's a great day to be a Giants fan today. It's insane we were able to get him. I think the Giants, John Mara, Joe Shane kind of realized that Daboll is the number one candidate out there right now. And he did have a meeting. He did have a meeting on Monday, and also had a meeting with the Saints next week. So they realized that, those places might have a better situation. The Saints have a lot of talent on the offensive side. Their offensive line is one of the best in the league. Their defense is always up there. Even with Miami, they have the Tua connection. I keep on bringing it up, but that's what would have attracted him there. Their defense is good. It has been really good. Brian Flores was there, but you keep the defense DC, and then he's able to do what he's been doing. That's an attractive job. So John Mara, Joe Shane, I guess you could even include Chris Mara, and they kind of realized that he's the one that a lot of teams want. So they acted fast. This is something that we've seen before with John Mara, but it's been only to harm the Giants. We saw Matt Rule was a favorite to become the Giants head coach a couple years ago. He got hired with Carolina because they offered him a lot of money. And that's really who we wanted. But, that didn't go that way. Giants kind of panicked and they hired Joe Judge, even though they made it seem that this was a research guy, and they look really deep into him. But now they came out and said that they wish they asked a couple more people. But I think this time they really did their due diligence on all of these guys. Joe Shane having the inside scoop really helped the Giants. So yeah, I think we're really seeing John Mara what is it called? Like, he's really changing the way he thinks about things and approaches things. I think we're seeing a different type of owner, a guy who's going to listen, a guy who's not going to just do what he wants, even though he can. He's done that before. But it's really important to let the guys you hire do their job. He's so far it seems like he's letting Joe Shane do that. But one thing, Deshaun Watson, he came out and said that's not happening. I'm not going to argue about that. I think he can do that with all the allegations out there and how much it would cost the Giants to bring him in cap wise and even assets wise. So I get that, but where he needs to let the power just go, he's letting it go. So that was the head coaching shirt. So hopefully he does the same with the OC and the DC. Daboll is probably going to want to bring in his own guys. Hopefully Joe Shane kind of helps him, guides him through that. It's Daboll's staff, so you're going to let him do whatever, bring in whoever he wants. But if Joe Shane's there to supervise it, I'm not going to be too worried. I think if you bring in Dorsey, that's the guy I want, and you bring in Martindale or keep Graham, I think this could be one of it's really too early to say, but it could really be a good staff. With that, it's not always just the OC and the DC. You want to bring in a good offensive line coach. We had Rob Sale. He actually left to be a coach in college with Florida, so that's not going to be an option for the Giants. Obviously, Mark Colombo is not an option, but there's guys out there. There's a lot of guys floating around. You could promote guys, so it's not the worst of things. I expect Daboll to have a good staff. It's going to take some time. Hopefully, they do take their time and just. Dorsey might get hired soon. Martindale is still a free agent, so you could sign him whenever you want. Don't have to request an interview or anything like that. But those are two names I would keep an eye out for: Ken Dorsey, the Bills passing game coordinator, and Don Wink Martindale, the former Ravens defensive coordinator. So that's gonna do it for this video. Super hyped, super excited for the future. Much more to come. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Comment, like the video. Let me know what you guys think about Brian Daboll. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you did want him, and if you didn't, I don't know, but like, just trust me, this is gonna be a good hire. Nothing guaranteed, obviously, but expect a huge leap in the offense. So see you until next time.